Hello guys, very good evening to you all. Welcome back to welcome back to Unacademy. Let's crack it. Okay guys, today I'm here to discuss the important questions related to your exam, since you all have an exam on 24th. So we thought of taking you a long session, a marathon kind of a session, just you know for question and answers and even the blueprint of your examination question. Okay, so give me a moment, let me check if it is. Okay, hello. Okay guys, so sorry for some, there was little technical glitch there. Anyway, so let's start up. So before going ahead, just want to let you know we have a special learning offer for the students. Okay, in our Unacademy app, there's a special for free special classes are there from 25th of August to 31. You know what you need to use a code RIO10, and you will get all. You can chat live with the top educators, attempt an interactive polls, and get your all doubts clear in one shot. Okay, so this should be a finest chance which you will be getting it, because if you compare it in entire Karnataka, in North Karnataka, this kind of a knowledge sharing a platform, you may not get it anywhere. Okay, so coming to okay, going forward, as discussed, I have told you that we are going to discuss about the important questions which are going to come in your examination, which is coming on 24th. Basically, I'm going to cover the blueprint. We are going to cover some important questions, and we'll see all the previous year question papers. Okay, guys, all set. We'll wait for a couple of minutes for you guys to join in. Let's wait. So before I start, again, I repeat, please go ahead and log into Unacademy app. There is a free special classes. Use a code RIO10. Okay. It's going to start from 25th of August to 31st, wherein you will be able to have a live chat with the top educators, and you can have an interaction polls with them, and also get your all doubts clear. Okay, guys. So let's start up. So initially, the first thing which I wanted to give you is your blueprint. See, guys, this is a blueprint for your board exam or the upcoming supplementary exam. This blueprint consists of the chapter and the chapter wise marks, and again wherein how would be the questions, whether it's a knowledge based question or the understanding question, and the applicable questions, and the skills what is required for that. Okay, so let's start off with the first chapter. The first chapter, you are getting 15 marks questions from the first chapter, wherein a short answer of, when I say, okay, before that, let me give you abbreviations. Abbreviations goes like this. VSA is nothing but your very short answer. SA is your short answer. LA is your long answer. And EA is your easy essay type answers. Okay. So there would be a total number of questions is 56 questions, and with what do you say? Every chapter has a different marks. The high weightage goes to the chapter 7, 5, and 1. Okay, let me start up with the first chapter, wherein you will getting one a very short answer, and one just a short answer. And on an understanding base, we'll get one long answer and one essay type question wherein you need to answer it. Okay, I repeat, for chapter 1 there's one very short answer question. The next one would be just a short question. Okay, I mean a question wherein you need to give a short answer, and for on an understanding parameter you need to have you give one long answer and one essay type answer. Okay, if you conclude, and there is a one practical oriented question as well, which if on the skill parameter you can see that there's a one practical oriented question. Okay, so total up to 4 theory question and one practical oriented question. Getting it, guys? Total there are 5 questions from chapter 1. Coming to the chapter 2, we have 10 marks questions wherein you have very short answer, one short answer, and one short answer, one very short answer, one small answer, one long answer, and one, okay, and in understanding one short and one very short. So if you see the total coming up is a 5 theory questions, but getting it, there are 5 theory questions, but marks is again the 10 marks from the second chapter. Again from third chapter you have 9 marks coming up. Okay, wherein you have one short and one very short answer and one long. So if you see ultimately there are 9 marks questions. The important thing to highlight you is the chapter 11, which consists of 21 marks, which has just one long answer. Okay, and one long answer in understanding, one long answer in a knowledge parameter, one in application, one very short in application, and a short answer in application. So total coming up to 21 marks from a chapter 11. So I would consider this would be very important chapter for you guys. So if you see the screen, I think I don't need to tell you everything. You can find it out. It's very easily. Now let's understand what would be the model of a questions, how it appear. Okay, so give me one moment. This would be your model question paper. Okay, one sec. Okay, anyway, this is a previous year question paper wherein you have 3 sections. Section A. In a section A, you got to answer any 10 of the following questions in a word, which is very short answer. A word of sentence each, carries 1 marks. So basically here you have, one very short answer questions like these all are real-time questions, guys. What is management? Is it an art? I'm just giving you along with the answer, or a science, or both art and science, or neither. So answer would be okay, both art and science. Okay, coming to the next one, next question, who is known as a father of general management? As you all know that, Henry Fayol is known as a father of a general management. Remember, guys, these all are very important questions and the short questions. I am telling you this from overall, including all these chapter. Okay, then the next important would be what is the meaning of a rule? If you say 1 marks, a rule is a specific statement that informs what has to be done. Getting it? What is a rule or a guideline? A rule is a statement which says what has to be done. Okay, guys, so coming to the next question, The next we have a network of a social relationship that arise spontaneously due to interaction at work is called what? You need to say. What happens sometimes, in an organization, you built up a networks, okay? They are saying a network of a social relationship that arises spontaneously due to the interactions at work is called. So that is called as informal organization, right? If you have gone through this chapter, you will understand, what is formal, what is informal, what is decentralization and the delegation. So among this 1 marks, this should be your 1 mark question. Okay, coming to your next question. Next would be the state any one internal source of recruitment. Okay, any one internal source. Recruitment you would have studied, right? When companies recruited, they recruited from the colleges, they recruited from open interview, by sending open interview, what do you say, email to most of the candidate. Okay, okay, and what else? They have references as well, but they also have the internal transfers. So internal source of a recruitment is nothing but the transfer from one department to another department, guys. Getting it? So the next question would be, okay, grapevine. What is a grapevine? Grapevine is a formal communication. If you would have gone through the communication part, okay, this is a very simple thing, simple questions. Hope this will be helpful for you. Okay, then coming, what is standard? See, these all are very important questions, guys. What do you mean by standard? Standards are the criteria against which actual platform would be measures. This is also kind of every company would have set certain standards, to meet the expectations or meet the performance to be measured. And if you say standards are the criteria against which the actual performance would be measured. Then the next question would be, give the meaning of capital structure. You need to know what is the meaning of a capital structure. No, capital structure refers to the mix between owner and the borrowed fund. Okay, in the simple one-way question, this is the right thing, which says a capital structure refers to the mix between owner and borrowed funds. Okay, guys. So please go through this one by one, understand it slowly. Then the next question which may come up is the settlement in yes. What do you mean by a settlement in an SE? Is it a T plus 5 or T plus 3 or T plus 2 or T plus 1? The settlement is known as, the answer for this is T plus 2. Okay, guys. Okay, this would be your, and some 2 mark your important questions are, how do you define management? Okay, this I have already covered in your last session, which says according to Arnold Cones, or you can define someone else as well. You have F.W. Taylor and someone else. Okay, Fuel as well. Okay, a management is a process of designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups effectively accomplish selected aims. You have to see, this management is a process of, you can say this also, you have something else also, right? Management is a process of getting things, as we all know, in a simple statement which says a management is nothing but a managing things and men, right? Men and things, in simple words. But to have the definition, you can give this as a definition. Okay, guys. Now coming to justify the importance of coordination by any 2 factors. Okay. Now how will you justify the importance of coordination? Okay. They are given the 2 factors would be coordination integrates group efforts into purposeful work activity. What happens when you coordinate with each other while achieving the single objective of an organization. It is a purposeful work activity. It integrates the group efforts. When you're doing with the group, at that time it is very important you need to have the coordination, or else you will not be successful in completing the organization's end task. Then the second justification will be coordination ensure unity of action. Okay guys, coordination ensures unity of actions. Now the next question is a very simple as well. Define coordination, because coordination is very important topic, guys. I think that's the reason we see a lot of multiple questions related to coordination. See, coordination is a process whereby an executive develops an ordinary pattern of a group effort among his subordinates and secure unity of action in the pursuit of common purpose. This is as for McFarland. Okay, so if you have any other definitions also, please go ahead with it. Okay, and write it in your examination. Okay guys, then again coming back to the short answers, state any one marketing philosophy. Okay, this is a very general kind of a questions. Marketing philosophy would be the production concept. Okay, any one marketing philosophy. This is the common general questions which they have asked us. These all are the questions which they have asked it in your previous examination. And state any one regulation which provides a legal protection to consumer. The Consumer Protection Act 1986 is the right answer, guys. Please take a note on this, because what happens is people are tend to forget this act. State any one regulation which provides legal protection to the consumer. It is a consumer right? So which is that? The Consumer Protection Act 1986. Okay, and who is an entrepreneur? Basically, the next question is very simple. Who is an entrepreneur? The person who set up his business is called an entrepreneur. In simple, if it is 1 mark, like if it is a 2 marks, then there could be a definition. But if you start up the explanation, who is an entrepreneur? Whoever start up the business, whoever want to the business, whether it is a small business, big business, joint stock company, or anything, whoever does the business or set up his business is called an entrepreneur. Now coming to the section B, wherein you will have 2 marks questions of wherein you need to answer any 10 of the 2 mark questions. Okay, it has to be in 2 sentences. Again, it can be the similar. Define management. Okay, answer is according to give something. In there 1 mark also it can come, for 2 marks also it can come. Then what is scalar chain? Okay, scalar chain, the answer, because as the define management I have already told you. What is scalar chain? The formal line of authority from highest to lowest rank are known as a scalar chain. Okay guys, so these are the very, very, very important questions from your examination point of view. Since tomorrow is your examinations, please go ahead and go through this question paper. I'm not saying go through only this. If you have anything apart from that, please go through that as well. Then there could be a give the meaning of the business environment. Just you need to say the term business environment means the sum total of all individuals, institutions, and other forces that are outside the control of business enterprise, but that may affect its performance. Okay guys, the term business environment means the sum total of all individuals, institutions, and other forces that are outside the control of a business enterprise, but that may affect its performance. That is question answer for the business environment. for 2 marks. Then the next question would be state any 2 features of planning. So what is planning? If someone want to start up any project or an organization, they said that they said and draw the plan, what has to be done, how it has to be done, who has to be done, to whom we need to connect with it, and all those stuff. Remember, I had given you the very simple example. If you wanted to plan for a trip and what all you plan, who has to get what, who has to do what, getting in these all things. So one question in it, so the one point in it is, what are the features of planning? The planning focuses on achieving objectives, first feature, and any other feature is planning is a primary function of management. Getting it, guys? It's a primary function of a management. And the next question is difference between delegation and decentralization by taking any 2 factors as a basis. Okay. Now see, this question is, they are telling you in detail, give the differentiate between delegation and decentralization by taking the 2 factors as a basis. What is the 2 factors? One is, you need to know what are those factors. One is your nature, and another one is a scope. On the nature's perspective, the delegations mean delegation is a compulsory act because no individual can perform all tasks on his own, right? So if I am a manager, I will delegate certain responsibility to my subordinates to be completed. Now, what is decentralization in terms of nature? What is the nature of a decentralization? Decentralization is an optional policy decision. It is done at the discretion of the top management. So this is basically done from the top management, and it's an optional policy decision. You can do it or you may not do it. Getting it? So this is an optional, and this is basically most of the time is been discretion. This can be discretioned and by the top management. Okay, guys. And coming to the scope, on the second point, the delegation means it has a narrow scope as it is limited to superior and his immediate subordinate. The scope is very limited in delegation because it has a narrow scope. When you see a narrow, it says it has a narrow scope as it is limited to superior and his immediate subordinate. I am a superior, I am a manager, and the scope is only I'll give it to my subordinate. Getting it? But in case of decentralization, it has a wide scope because it implies extension of delegation to the lowest level of management. See, decentralization is not only for the managers and immediate. It has a wider scope because it implies extension of a delegation even from a top to middle level, even from middle level to your low level management guys as well. Okay, guys. Then coming to the next question, what do you understand by supervision? So what is supervision? Basically, to supervise someone, right? If someone is doing their work, someone has to be there to check it, to supervise it. Or else what happens if he does wrong or if he does extra things which is not required at that point of a time, then it will be a loss for an organization. Or example, in the manufacturing industry, if you are doing something, if you are manufacturing, take an example of a pen itself. If this manufacturer is not post manufacture, if it is not supervised and there are certain errors in it, then what will happen? It will be rejected in the market. So supervision is an element of a directing. Basically, supervision is an element of directing. It means overseeing what is being done by subordinates. I am a subordinate. Just take an example. I am a subordinate and my boss has given me some work, okay, and I'm doing that work. So my boss will be supervising me whether I am doing it correct or no. Getting it? That is the meaning of supervision. They call it as a supervisor, right? Senior supervisor, supervisors and all. So this is a simple meaning. First, what you have to say, supervision is an element of directing. It means overseeing what is being done by subordinates and giving instructions to them. And giving instruction, that is important. If things are going wrong, you have to say, this is going wrong. Okay, it is also considered an important functions to be performed by supervisor. Okay, guys. Okay, coming to the next question. What is budgetary control? What is budgetary control? Budgetary control is a technique of managerial control in which all operations are planned in advance in the form of budget, and actual results are compared with budgetary standards. So if you do with this, what do you say, 2 marks question, I think this will be very much helpful. Okay, this is also important, guys. I am giving you questions, along with that I am also giving you the answers. What is budgetary control? Budgetary control is a technique of managerial control in which all operations are planned in advance. Remember what is budget? Basically, our government issues a budget, on the 1st of February every year, right? But what is it is an advanced preparation of all those expenses, and all those what do you say, not only along with an expenses, they also have the plans of a development where we have to spend on a development side as well. Okay, so if you see the answer, budgetary control is a technique of managerial control in which all operations are planned in advance in the form of budgets, and actual results are compared with budgetary standards. Then later what will happen, those results which we have acquired after completing a task, that will be compared with the standards what we have already budgeted. Okay, the next question would be, state the twin objectives of financial planning, which is very easy. Why financial planning is done? To ensure the availability of funds whenever required, because without a financial planning you cannot do it. You have to spend it in an organization, right? So if you keep spending without having any availability, then it is of, I don't think so, it is of use, right? What will happen ultimately? Either we may go into loss, okay, or we may end up to the no profit no loss, like break even point. Getting it? The objective of financial planning is to ensure the availability of funds whenever required. Then to see that the firm does not raise resource unnecessarily. They have to ensure that the firm should not be, does not raise resources unnecessarily, because there's a lot of time what happens, there are certain departments who takes over budget, who do over budgeting, and they spend a lot of money in unnecessary things. To see that firm does not raise resources unnecessary, that is also one of the planning objective. Coming to again some of the important questions for 4 marks. Explain the objectives of management. As we all know that the objectives of management are 3 or 4. Basically, one is organization objective, which has your survival, your profit making and your growth. And the second one is your social objective, which is nothing but your social responsibility towards the society. Social responsibility towards the society. Okay, and your personal objective. Your personal objectives is of course, to grow yourself, you need to improve, grow the ladder in an organization, and The fourth one is management helps in achieving personal objectives. Getting it, guys? This is also very much important question from 4 marks point of view. Then coming to explain 4 features of management. As we all studied in the chapter 1, you all know that the features of a management, whether it's a goal oriented, whether it's a pervasive, whether it's a, what do you say, intangible, or in all those things you need to write the 4 features of it. Then explain the dimensions of management. Okay, the dimensions of management, you got to explain it from the first chapter. This is also very important. Okay, guys, so please take it down. Okay, coming to again back, how do you this is again the 2 mark question. How do you describe the marketing mix? Most of them doesn't know about it, but please take this as a very important questions from your examination point of view. What is marketing mix? Marketing mix is described as a set of marketing tools that a firm uses to pursue its marketing objectives in a target market. The term marketing mix is given by, he's an author, Neil Borden. It is a combination of 4 inputs, namely product, price, promotion, and the place. Getting it? What is a marketing mix? If we remember P raised to 4, it is a mixture of product, price, promotion, and the place. So what do you have to write? The marketing mix is described as a set of marketing tools that a firm uses to pursue its marketing objectives in a target market. The term marketing, you can say that the term marketing, or there might be a 1 mark question as well. Who was, dash was, a term given by for marketing mix. Though at that time you need to remember the name, Neil H. Borden. Okay, then the next question would be, write any 2 rights of consumer. As we are a consumer of, whether it's a customer, what are the rights? Right to safety, right to be informed. So that's the reason if you see on whatever we purchases, they inform us that this is going to, if I'm purchasing some bread, so they will be written at when this was manufactured, when it was expired, when it will be expired, and what are those, what do you say, if what are the telephone numbers if you have any queries related to that. Okay, so if they ask you to write any 2 rights of consumer, then right to safety and right to be informed. Then the next question would be, state any 2 characteristics of enterprise. Okay, guys, so as we all know, what is enterprise? A company, when it's been set up, it's called as an enterprise. Okay, the characteristics of enterprise, so it's not enterprise, I'm sorry. State any 2 characteristics of entrepreneurship. Who is an entrepreneur? Right? A person who sets up a business. What are the characteristics of him, of an entrepreneurship? Systematic, activity, and innovation. That is one of them. We can go ahead and go through in detail further. Systematic, activity, and innovation would be the answer. Now coming to your next question, expand cash, which is KASH. Expand cash. In a context of, they are giving a context there, entrepreneurship. K refers to the knowledge, A refers to the attitude, S refers to the skills, and H refers to habits. So take a note of this. This is a very general type of a questions which may come, and easily you can clear this. I am sure you are going to rock it if you are able to go through these all questions. See guys, we all have done put a lot of effort for you guys to get in this all questions. Okay, so coming back to the question, okay, explain, I'm repeating again, expand cash from entrepreneurship perspective, knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits. Okay, guys. Then the next one is for your 8-mark question. In between, I'm giving some 8-mark, 4 marks, all types of questions. So basically, I've already given you what do you say, blueprint, how many 8 marks, how many 2 marks, how many 4 marks questions will come from each chapter. Okay, for the 8-mark question, you can, the same thing. For 4 marks, they may ask to explain the characteristics of management. Remember, this is for 8 marks also. There is this question. So if you have the same question even in 8 marks, you have to write all those 4 characteristics, which is nothing in detail along. This is nothing but your essay type question. Okay, you need to write it everything in detail, whether how the management is a goal oriented process, management is an all pervasive, management is multidimensional, management of work, management of people, and management of operational activity, management is a continuous process. So all these 7 to 8 characteristics, whatever you have read it in textbooks, those all things you have to write it in an elaborated form. Okay, guys. So the next one is for the 8-mark question. Okay, management is a series of continuous related functions. So comment. So you need to understand this. See, just this is also 8-mark question. Only 1 mark, one liner which they have asked you. A management is a series of a continuous interrelated functions. So you need to give an elaboration and write the functions of the management, right? So what are those interrelated functions? Your planning, directing, staffing, right, controlling, and all those things. Whatever you have learned, you need to write about it with an elaborated form. So here the next question for the 8 marks is management as an art and science are not mutually exclusive but complement to each other. So they are saying you in a common in a one sentence wherein you have to say write elaborative about management as a art, management as a science. You need to justify that with the given points. There are 4 to 5 points which is there in your textbooks, which they have given it on the management as an art, management as a science. Okay, and if they have even asked you about the management as a profession, you need to go through that. Okay, guys, this was on. Okay, now if you say the chapter wise also, the 1 mark question would be what is efficiency. I have explained you in detail about this. Efficiency, achieving of goals with a minimum cost, is known as efficiency. These are simple questions. Which of the following is not a function of management? Remember the planning, staffing, cooperating, and coordinating, controlling. So cooperating is not a function of management. If you see, the following is not an objective of a management: earning of profit, growth of the organization, providing employment, and the policy making. So providing employment is not a objective of management. If you have studied that, you will come to know that. Then again, from the next chapter, who is known as the father of general management? Henry Ford. Who is called as a father of scientific management? See, guys, you please don't go ahead. Please don't get confused here. They are asking 2 questions. The father of general management is Henry Ford. Okay. Then the father of scientific management is F.W. Taylor. So please don't confuse this in this. Okay. Okay, some of the, what do you say, how simple, how simplification differs from standardization according to a Taylor. So you need to answer that. Basically, the difference between standardization and the simplification. So in the standardization, it refers to the process of setting standards for every business activity. It aims at eliminating unnecessary diversity of product. Okay. In simplification, it implies diversing new varieties. It implies saving of a cost. Okay, guys. Now the next question is, how are principles of management formed? So they have given four options, basically by propagating of a social scientists. Okay, these are the principles of management formed, because they are the one social scientists who propagated, who experimented in the field in an organization, and they set an principle for it. Then the next one is, which of the following statement best describes the principle of division of work? Little tricky questions. When you say work segregation, division of work, so there are four options they have given. Work should be divided into small tasks, labor should be divided, resources should be divided among jobs, it leads to specialization. So the answer would be work should be divided into small tasks. When it is saying a division of work, the meaning itself clears that the statement related to work should be divided into small tasks. Easy thing. Then the next question is, he or she keeps machine, material, tools, etc. ready for operation by concerned worker, whose work is described by this sentence under functional foremanship. So under functional foremanship, you would have studied. So they are saying someone is helping, he or she keeps machines. They keeps machines, materials, tools, etc. ready for operation by concerned worker, whose work is described by this sentence under functional foremanship. So actually it is a function of a gang boss. Okay, keep this mind. If it is related to operated by the concerned worker, all those material machines, then it is, the answer would be for the gang boss. Go ahead guys, if you have any doubt, go ahead and ask. Write it in the comment or the chat box if you have any questions. Okay, I can see what doubt you have. Sumed, please chat it, I can give you an answer. Okay, then the next question is, these are again for 2-mark questions. Okay, state any two difference between unity of command and unity of direction. So what is a what do you mean by unity of command? Okay, unity of command basically means this principle advocates that there should be only one boss for every individual employee. Okay, this principle is related to the people and their relationship in the organization. But whereas the unity of direction, it differs. Understand these all, guys. Okay, this principle advocates that all units of an organization should be moving towards the same objectives of the organization. Direction of the work towards the objective of the organization. This principle relates to the work and the direction of the work towards the objectives. Understand the difference between unity of command and unity of direction. Because in unity of command, you are directly commanding. A boss is commanding to the individual employee. This principle is related in the people, where the relationship in the people and their relationship in the organization. But unity of direction, you have who is, your leader direct you to do like this. Your boss command you to do like that. Okay, getting it? There is a thin line difference here in the command and the direction. Okay, Uh, Understood this? Then the next question is, what is scalar chain? Okay, the formal lines of authority from higher to lower ranks are known as a scalar chain. You have an authority from top to a bottom. They are called as authority. Who has an authority to ask CFO? CEO will be having an authority to ask CFO. Then CFO has an authority to ask for their executive VPs. Then executive VP will have an authority to ask for the senior directors. And the senior director will have an authority to ask for a director. Director has an authority to ask for their senior manager or the group manager. Then group manager has an authority to ask for a manager. Manager has an authority to ask for the supervisor. Supervisor has an authority to ask for the team leader. Team leader has an authority to ask for, what do you say, a subject matter expertise. Subject matter expertise or a senior associate. Senior associate has an authority to ask for an associate or the first guy or the low level management who are in a low level management who are actually doing the work. Okay, guys. This is called a scalar chain. Understand that the formal line of an authority from higher to lowest rank are known as a scalar chain. Now, what is gangplank? As we all know, guys, a gangplank is a shorter route in a scalar chain. If you have studied this, you'll come to know. Just write for a 2 marks question. What is gangplank would be the question. Okay, gangplank is a shorter route in a scalar chain which allows employee at the same level to communicate with each other directly. Gangplank is used in case of emergency. Okay, guys. So this is again for your short answers. Let me see if you have any more. Yes. In a 4 marks, you have discussed the significance of principle of management by explaining any 4 points. Guys, if you have gone through the principle of management, please explain those principle of management by explaining in the point. Okay. Principle of management, if you have gone through. Okay, guys, let me tell you the points. What all you may need to write it. Okay. Significance of principle of management. This comes from your second chapter. One second. Okay, nature and principles of significance and nature. Okay, which is nothing but significance is nothing but the importance. No, guys. Okay, you need to write about the importance of a principle of management. What is that? The first point is providing. This is for your 4, or it all may also come in your 8-mark question, which is the first one is providing managers with a useful insights into a reality. Right? Providing managers with useful insights into reality. What do you mean by insights? For example, there's a huge data. You are giving insights. What would be the outcome from that data? Right? So the principle of management provides the managers with the useful insights, basically into a real world situation. Okay. That is a point which you have to elaborate it. Basically, it pushes them. Hi Rajshekhar, hi, hello Rajshekhar. Thanks for chatting. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Okay, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, guys. So moving forward, so your first is providing manager. The first, what do you say? Principle of a management is importance of a principle of a management is providing managers with useful insights into a reality. You know what happens, taking a meaning basic, what does a manager does, it enables a managers has those experience, right? Managers has that experience. So with that experience, he will take a meaning from the huge data which is available. For an example, if you have the ability to understand and manage that situation, you know that is insight. Basically, to give you an example, there's a huge mess up which has happened between two departments. Because this manager goes there and he understands the situation, he has that knowledge about that subject, he will solve this particular thing as a problem from that situation and find out the solution. And most of the time what happens, because manager would have gone through these all situations in the past. Okay, he would have gone through all these situations in the past, and with those all experience he'll try to solve it. Okay, that is an insight, useful insight, which he will give it at that time of a situation. So that is a one first point in the, what do you say, principle of management. And the second point would be your optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. An organization has to have an optimum up to the maximum utilization of the resources. Resources could be in the form of what do you say, whether it is human beings or the production or the raw material, whatever the resources we are taking, we have to use it on the maximum side. Optimum utilization and effective administration, such as manner they should give what do you say, effective administration. When I say you effective administration, without any difficulty, without any problem, okay, without any hurdles, the things should move on. And at the time of what do you say, if employee needs something which is helping to achieve the organization's objective, there should be a proper administrative department who could help them to identify it and give it to them. Getting it? In your, what is that? Optimum utilization and the effective administration. And there should not be any, as such, the wastage associated with the something has to be reduced, something similar to that. Okay, guys. And the next point, the third, is your scientific decision. Your principle in the principle of management, the decisions which has been done are the scientific decisions. No, they are not just and scientific, they are practical, they are, what do you say, those are the decisions which are done then and there itself, based on the situation, based on the experience, and it is scientifically proven. And when I say the decisions has to be justifiable. There has to that, and that has to be based on some facts. Just by seeing it will not happen. Okay, there has to be some fact. Why do you think the statistics comes up? The statistics comes up with on the basis of samples. On those, for an example, in the hospital industry, if you see, they would have maintained the sugar level parameter, right? If the sugar level is between 100 and 150 or 120, you have that glucometer, right? Then your sugar is controlled. Now, how they have fixed that parameter? Those parameters are fixed based on the statistics. They have taken the samples of the people who have already done, and the scientists have, come up with a decision that if you have a blood level of this and this, because they have actually done the test before coming up, they have taken the sampling, they would have done the sampling of multiple people, around the world with a different age group. Okay, then they have come up with that. So when I'm saying a scientific decision, it is based on the fact that has to be justifiable uh, in order to have the and intended to complete the objectives of an organization, and it has to be realistic, basically what I mean to say, which is measurable, which is evaluated, which is logical. Okay, then the next point would be meeting changing environment requirements. I'm just giving you this because this is for the 4-mark question. You can write, they are asking the principle of explaining the 4 points. So explain that the 4 point, the fourth point could be the meeting changing environment requirements. No, changing environment, guys. So when you have environments keeps changing, right? What remains changes, what do you say? They keep saying, right? Change is the only thing which never changes. Getting it? So a meeting changing, for example, there was sudden change due to the COVID. There might be a, you got to be a dynamic, you got to be a flexible, have an environment. For example, management principle emphasizes division of work and specialization in modern times. So currently, earlier we never used to use the computers and all those stuffs, right? And the technology, but now we have to use it because that is a demand for current era, without which no one will, people will think that we are old and outdated. So this is some of the 4 points which I can give you. Okay, you can answer it, explaining the principles of management for the 4th point. The next question would be, explain the principle of management contributed by F.W. Taylor. So remember, guys, there is again a little trick here. Taylor's is a scientific management. Okay, these are the principle given by a principle of management contributed by F.W. Taylor. Okay, and there are certain principle explained, as I explained you in general recently. Now what are the principle of, they are asking like this by telling principle of management contributed by F.W. Taylor. So the question for this is also can be explain the principle of scientific management, because F.W. Taylor is the person who has given the principle for scientific management. Now what those all are? Okay, those all are, I can give you some, share you with some points. The first one, principle would be the science, not rule of a thumb. He says that the science is not a rule of a thumb, which means it is a method of a scientific inquiries into the domain of a management practice, because it's not a rule, it has come after practicing lot of, see, management rules are not the rules which has been set up like a constitution or something. These are the rules which has been developed by practicing it and implementing it in an organization. Okay, and they have learned it, they have understood it, then they have made it as a rule. Okay, that is first principle which Taylor has told. Then the second principle, harmony, not discord. The factory system of a production implied that the manager served as a link between the owner and the worker. Who is a manager? Basically, who serves the link between a owner and the worker in the factory system. But in a joint stock company or in a global company, it's different scenario. But just to give an example, I'm telling you this example which related to the factory. A manager is a person who links between worker and the owner, because he's getting things done, right? So in order to, since the manager, they had its mandate to get work done from the worker, so it should not be difficult for you to appreciate there always existing possibility of a kind of a class. There should not be any conflict in between them. There has to be a harmony. When I say a harmony, a peace. Okay, that is one of the principle which he talks about, harmony and accord. Then the next principle he talks about is what do you say, cooperation, not individualism. This is very important, guys. Teamwork. So how does the teamwork is done? Teamwork can be only done with a cooperation, not individualism. When you say I have done it, that's the wrong thing when you are working in an organization or in a team. You have to say we have done it. It's always we before I. Okay. There should be a complete cooperation between the labor and the management instead of individualism. Okay. Then only there will be a harmony, okay, in place. Both should say that he will do anything whatever he want. He has to know that what he has to be done. Getting it? Then the next point would be development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and the prosperity. See, it is a management, what do you say, a duty to take care of the development of every individual to his greatest effort, right? So these are the some of the points which I would say for the a principle of management. But please don't get confused here, guys, because they are asking you about the principle of management, explain in general. Then when they are asking you about the principle of a management from F.W. Taylor, which is nothing but the principle of management from, what do you say, scientific management. Okay. Then the coming to the next chapter, there is some important thing I think which we have to discuss, because since you have an exam, I'll go through this fast. What is business environment? The term is very simple. We already learned this business environment, which you all know. We have already discussed this. Which of the following does not characterize the business environment? Whether uncertainty, employee relativity, or complexity. I think employees are the one which does not characterize the business environment. And the next question would be which of the following is an example for a social environment? Is an example for social environment. Social by name, social itself we should be able to understand from this MCQ type of a question. Money is not related to social. The constitution of a country is not related to social. The consumer production is not nowhere related to social. Composition of family, getting it, family is very much related to social. Family, friends, right? They all are very much related to social. So that would be your right answer. And the next question would be what do you mean by liberalization? Okay, in one word, to reduce government control and restriction. You are making it. What is the meaning of liberal? Liberal is making loose. Liberal when you are restricting and being a liberal. So liberalization is nothing but reducing government control and restricting. Okay, which of the following does not explain the impact of a government policy changes on a business and industry? Okay, the change in agriculture price is the right answer, guys, because this does not explain the impact of the government policy change on the businesses. We'll give the meaning of globalization. This is very easy from your 1 marks question. Globalization means the integration of the various economic of the world leading towards the emergency of a cohesive global economy. Just take down the question. I think you all may have the answers for it. And what is privatization? I have already told you this. This is one more important from the 4 marks. Okay, explain with example the various dimensions of business environment. What are those dimensions? Economic, social, technological, political, and the legal. We need to elaborate these all things one by one and understand it. Okay, guys. So on economical point of view, environment, those all things you need to explain, which come wherein your interest rate, inflation rate, change in the disposable income of a people, stock market, and all those comes up. Okay, if you go through, you'll come to know What would be this? Then they explain the features of a business environment for the 8-mark questions. This is an 8-mark question, guys. If you want, if you go through, there are 7 points. The features of a business environment, which is nothing but totality of external force, then a specific and the general force. Then we have interrelatedness, dynamic in nature, uncertainty, complexity, and relativity. Okay, so you need to elaborate this for each point, right? Give an elaboration, and this is also very much important question from your examination point of view. And from planning chapter, for 1 marks is very simple. Planning is decided. What is planning? Planning is decided in advance what to do and how to do. And the next would be state the first step in planning, which is nothing but the setting objective. So if you have studied the stages in planning, you will come to know what are those steps before planning. So first step would be setting an objective. I think see, there are some tricky questions here. Last time they had asked about the what is budget, but now they have given example of a single use plan. The single use plan is nothing but, the example for that is nothing but the budget. Okay, now they are also asking about the example on standing plan. Standing plan is nothing, the policy is an example for the standing plan, right? Policy is an example for the standing plan. So give an example for plan, it's a plan which is neither single nor a standing plan. So that is nothing but a strategy. So please go through these all question and answers, guys, which may helpful for your examination. And there are some more. Which of the following statement is not correct with regards to planning? Okay. Which is not correct. It is a mental exercise. It provides direction for the future action. Please go understand each and every option, guys, which is very important. It is end function in the process of management, right? What is the following statement not correct with regarding to planning? Of course, it is end function. Answer is end function is the process of management. Yes, because when you see the read the planning is not an end. Actually it is a starting function of a process of management. After planning only you will set up the entire business, right? So go through the question thoroughly. They are saying a statement is not correct, so this is not correct. It is end function is not correct. So the next question would be, which of the following is not the feature of planning? What is not the feature of planning? It involves identification and division work. Division of work is not a part of planning, because division of work is nothing but, I think it comes in a directing, or segregation of duties. Okay, guys. So please go through thoroughly each and every questions. Again, there are some 2-mark questions. What do you mean by the objectives? Objectives is nothing but, objectives are endpoint towards which are activities of an organization are directed. Objectives are set by the top management, basically. Okay. Then what is strategy? This I have already explained you. Okay. Then coming to, so these all are the more important. If you want me to give some more, there would be plenty, but please go through these all chapter wise. I have given you all organization wise, chapter wise, and your segment wise I have given you. I have drawn attention even to your blueprint as well. See, this is your blueprint. Please go through this blueprint once again. I'm saying you, okay, which is utmost important. If you want to go ahead, and get all the out marks, please go ahead and go through each chapter. Okay, each chapter from 12, from 11 to 12 chapter, from every chapter there will be a question, guys. So it is there, it is always important to understand and go through each and every chapter. Okay, guys. So see, again I am repeating you this. Okay, we have almost 12 chapter. We, the priority chapters are the high marks chapter would be your 11th chapter, your 7th chapter, wherein you are getting 19 marks from that, and from 11th chapter we are getting 21 marks, and from first chapter itself we are getting 15 marks questions. Getting is, if you see, there's no, every chapter is important, right? So this would be a you need to have a knowledge, understanding, application, skill, and when you say skill, practical oriented question, how will you solve it? So those are all things, guys. Please keep in mind these all questions, which all will come to your examination, may come to your examination. Okay. Okay, give me one more. Okay, they'll tell you this. Okay, this is a model question paper. Okay, for English medium. See, this is a model question paper for 2023 to 2024. Okay, guys, see, it's a 3-hour timing. You will have a 3 hour. Okay, please read the question properly, read your instructions properly. See the instructions. These are some of the instructions to the candidates. The question paper contains 4 parts. Okay, part A, part B, part C, and part D. Okay, guys. Part A consists of 4 sections: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, write the serial number of question properly as given in the question paper while answering, and write the correct and the complete answer. Okay, guys. So see, for 1 mark question, these all are the model question paper for this year. Top level management consists of what? A, B, C, D. Chairman, first line manager, division head, supervisor. Who are the first line top level management? Only one answer you need to give. Chairman, right? Chairman would be the right answer for this. So Henry Fuel was a social scientist, mining and engineer, accountant, production engineer. He was a scientist. He's a management guy, right? So a strategy is derived from, so these are all things. See, this is the kind of a questions which is coming up. Policy, objectives, method, or a rule. Okay. It is, or strategy means it's a method, I guess. It's a method, because rule is something. These are, if you have an understanding, you will be able to if you have you'll be able to answer this question. Very important. Policy is something which is given by the government. Objectives are something which is set by the organization. Rule is something which has been described by organization or someone. But method is nothing. A strategy, when you say a method, strategy is nothing. If you are going down into the business, you need some other strategy to go up, right? For example, I'm not able to do a lot of sale in my of my product. Okay, because of some reason. The reason would be the reason would be the rain. It's a rainy season which is going on. But I will, then I'll change my strategy. I will put a shelter and try to sell it. The product will not spoil, and the sale also will happen more. So the change in method, right? Kind of that. Then check out what kind of a questions they are asking. A strategy is derived from method. Okay, then the next, See, they have given you the applicable question. Ganga Limited is a company dealing in a metal product. The work is mainly divided into functions like production, purchase, marketing, finance, and human resource. Identify types of organization structure followed by the organization. So you need to, if you would have gone through the functional, you will come to know what do you mean by functional structure, divisional structure, formal structure, and informal structure. Okay, guys. So please go through all those structures. You will be able to answer this. Then which of the following is a promotion mix? So this is also a question. Then fill in the blanks they have given you. See here. They have given you gang plan can be used in case of something. A dash. I will not answer this question because I want you guys to go through, understand this, and see if you can find something in it. Dash is a technique used to motivate people. You know what is a technique? Dash is a technique used to motive people in an organization. Okay, motivation techniques basically. Dash refers to the mix between owner's fund and the borrowed fund. Okay, your capital structure, right? The part of the seal that is given legal protection is called, what is a legal protection? A part of a seal that is given legal protection is called part of a seal, not a seal. Seal or seal, it is little, I'm not sure about it. Okay, I think that's a trademark. Okay, so you have these kind of a questions, right? So you need to understand this. If you have gone through. Okay, guys, people, if you have any doubts, questions, please go ahead and ask. Okay, then there is a match the following as well, a model type of a question paper in type 3. Okay, you have match the following as well: general guidelines, authority, recruitment, controlling, and advertising. Right, so advertising refers to general guidelines. You have, that's a part of a management characteristics of a business. And authority is nothing which comes from a staffing process. Okay, recruitment is nothing but related to staffing, I guess. Then promotion techniques, advertising, okay, is nothing but your promotion technique. So in this way, if you have a proper understanding, you will be able to go, answer it. Now coming back, what is the process they have asked? State any one difference between training and development. Name the theory evolved by Abraham Maslow, which is nothing but Maslow's hierarchy theory. Okay, then in which year the Consumer Protection Act was passed? Remember, I have told you this question when we were discussing it. And then in the part B, you need to answer for 2 or 3 sentences each, which is, remember, this is in a model question paper. They have definitely asked the questions which we discussed in the just couple of half an hour back. Define management. State any 2 principle of scientific management. Okay, what is method under plan? Okay, state any 2 difference between formal and informal organization. State 2, these all are very common things where you can easily understand if you are understand the entire chapters, right, it will be easy to answer for you guys. Then write any 2 limitations of controlling, give 2 examples for convenience goods. So state any 2 responsibilities of the consumer. So these all things are the important questions, guys. Please go through this. We want you to have the complete success in your exams. We wish you all the best for that. So but please study hard. See, in the part C, they have given briefly explain any 4 principle of management. Didn't I tell you from second chapter, 4 principle of management contributed by Henry Ford? So this is very important. So please go through all those principles. Then write a note on a social environment and technological environment. This is also from the third chapter, which talks about, social environment and technological environment. The court passed an order to ban polythene bags, as these bags are certain, what you know this one you have to write in 10 to 12 sentences. Remember that. If there is an example, you need to include example. If there is explanation, if each and everything you need to include here. Okay. The court passed an order. The court passed an order to ban polythene bags, as these bags are creating many environmental problems. Okay. The society is more concerned about quality of life. The government decides to give subsidy to jute industry to promote these business. Innovative techniques are being involved to promote this business. Identify the different dimensions of business environment by quoting the lines from the above particulars. So from the above particulars, if you have studied the dimensions for business environment, okay, you will be able to answer this. Then go through these questions, guys, please. Briefly explain the first 4 steps. See, they are given multiple questions. They are asking you to write any 6 in it. They have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you are getting 4 extra questions, which is very easy for you to score, in this subject. Please go through this. I will still take time. I will not move ahead. Okay. And coming to part D, which is your 8 marks questions, wherein you need to go through 3 questions, wherein they are given you 5 questions. Out of 5, 3 should be answered. Special note, part A question should be selected from a stipulated chapter only. Okay, fine. They see the note. They are saying the questions should be selected from a stipulated chapter. Part A. When I say a part A, this is your part A, right? The 1 marks question. So when they are given you questions, they are given you the multiple choice question, and that answer has to be from that chapter itself. If that answer is differing from some other chapter, then that will be considered as incorrect. Okay. So coming back to the part D, see, explain the objectives of management. Very important question. Just now we spoke about the objectives of management. Is very important. Give your social, personal, okay, your object, organization, work. These all in that which all come, survival, growth, all those stuff. Then the role of organization is important for the business organizations to successfully achieve its goal. Explain the importance of organization, which is nothing but they are giving you to write the significance of an organization. To justify the statements, you need to write all those justifications. See, all important questions. Just now we discussed about these all. Explain the stages involved in the staffing, which is very easy. You can write this. There are many easy stages which are involved in staffing. Explain the principle of directing that must be followed for effective directions. Okay. And explain, see, you will get 24 marks here, guys. This is explain easy 8 functions of marketing. So please, these all are, see, what I feel is all your part D is very easy, and if you know the points, you can write this, just like that, and please try to keep enough time for a part D, right? Or else if you are what do you say, if you are if your timing is going fast, try to complete your part D first itself. Don't waste time, don't waste much of a time in just thinking. So go ahead and write first whatever you guys know. But what I feel is, Part D is very easy but lengthy, right? You need to have a lot of time, because you know you may have the understanding of a topic, but you also need to have a time to write on it. Please strategize, set your time properly, because you will have only 3 hours 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes will go here and there in submitting papers and all those stuff and checking all your paper. Please try to finish this in 3 hours. Okay guys, this would be your model question paper. So by this I wish all of you guys all the best. Okay, all the best for your exam for tomorrow. And I again ask you, we all have, in an Unacademy we have a free special classes only in an Unacademy app from August 25th to August 31st, wherein you can have a live chat with your top educators, you can attempt an interactive polls, and you can get all your doubts cleared. Please go ahead, subscribe, view, go ahead and download the Unacademy app, and you have to use a code RIO10, RIO10. Okay, I wish all the best for your exam wholeheartedly, guys. I want you guys to be successful in your exams. And remember, I always say that nothing is impossible, guys. Please, you can rock it, you will rock it, I'm sure about it. Okay, so don't be afraid of anything. Before, if you find it difficult, for example, if question paper comes in front of you, if you're finding it, if you are not understanding anything, please go ahead and go for the next question, and don't waste much of a time, because in thinking about something, whatever first thing, just go ahead and write it. Okay, and just don't waste your time just by looking here and there. uh, you know People does that, because though it with that overconfident, okay, I know everything, I can do it. But unfortunately, what happens when when you start writing it, you find that the time is very less. Okay, there is a less time for you to write it. So that's the reason, don't waste much time, because this is theoretical subject wherein you need to write a lot with all those examples. Okay, so I wish you all the best. Once again, keep rock. Okay, keep rocking in your exams. Okay, uh, do well, god bless you. Thank you, bye bye, take care, and have proper sleep. Okay, because it's very important when you go up to tomorrow for examination, you have to feel good about it, you have to feel nice about it, and be happy, and go with that confidence. Okay, that you will clear the exam, I'm damn sure about it. Okay, all the best guys, thank you, bye bye, take care.